On behalf of the faculty and staff of Durham Technical Community College, I add my welcome to the 2013 graduating class, as well as to families and friends gathered here on this most joyous occasion. I would like to recognize a number of special guests who are with us this afternoon. You have just heard from John Burness, Vice Chair of the Durham Technical Community College Board of Trustees. Other members of the Board of Trustees who have joined us today include Susan Griffin, the Honorable Renee Price, Dr. Mary Ann Peter, Mr. David Dodson, the Honorable Willie Covington, and Mr. Lee Johnson. I would also like to recognize the Durham Technical Community College Foundation Board of Directors members with us this afternoon, including Ms. Kay Gresham, Mr. Eric Croson, Mr. Jay Mebin, and Ms. Tony Rigsby. Please join me in thanking them for their support and leadership this past year. As Mr. Burness just said, this does mark the 5th year that we've been welcomed into the Durham Performing Arts Center. Without question, the most wonderful venue for any graduation, for any community college in North Carolina. I thank Tom Bonfield, the Durham City Manager, and his staff, along with Bob Klaus, General Manager, and the staff here at DPAC for their assistance and support this afternoon. The most important word in our title is community. It refers both to the communities that we serve and the community that we are, a community of learners. This afternoon's celebration is the culmination of a year of accomplishment and success for the community that is our students, our faculty, and our staff. Today is a tangible demonstration of the way this institution embodies its mission of enriching both our students' lives and the broader community through teaching, learning, and service. Tomorrow, our graduates will be better prepared to contribute to and enhance the wealth and well-being of the communities of Durham and Orange counties and beyond. The core of the Durham Tech community is our faculty and staff. Our excellence is the result of their dedication and imagination, their creativity and commitment. I would like our faculty and staff to stand to be recognized. I thank you for everything you do every day to serve our students in the communities of Orange and Durham counties. In particular, I thank Candice Capers and the members of the Commencement Planning Committee. This group has been working diligently for the past several months, planning, coordinating, and organizing our commencement exercises. Earlier this year, we formally recognized Teresa Fine-Pawsey, instructor in English, as the recipient of the 2012-13 Excellence in Teaching Award. Teresa's peers describe her as having boundless energy and being fearless in her approach to teaching. Her students describe her as engaging and always encouraging them to think outside the box. Perhaps most telling, her students say that she is able to identify in them something that can be developed and made better. Perhaps something they themselves did not know they had. We also recognized Mary Kennery, library technician, as the recipient of the college's Excellence in Support Services Award, and honored Karen Abel, program director for English as a Second Language, as the recipient of the Excellence in Community Services Award. Please join me in congratulating these 3 individuals who exemplify excellence among our faculty and staff. This afternoon, we continue in a season of celebration as we reflect upon a year of academic excellence for our students. In March, Durham Tech's chapter of Phi Theta Kappa, the Honorary Society, was recognized for achieving 3-star status and received the Executive Director's Achievement Award for chapter growth and involvement. This spring, Durham Tech's Student Senate was the recipient of the Top C Campus Award given by the North Carolina Comprehensive Community College Student Government Association. This award is given annually to the student government organization that best demonstrates the qualities of campus engagement and community involvement among the 58 colleges in our state. The N4CSGA also recognized Sabina Boyer as the recipient of the Outstanding Community Service Award for her leadership in developing the Durham Tech Harvest Food Pantry. And in January, Erin Marie Souther was chosen as Durham Tech's Academic Excellence Award recipient for 2013. A native of Wilkesboro, North Carolina, Erin earned a Bachelor of Fine Arts degree in Studio Art from Appalachian State University before coming to Durham Tech. Erin graduates today with highest honors from the Dental Laboratory Technology program. Today, Erin and Sabrina are two of over 300 people who will cross this stage and become graduates of Durham Technical Community College. This afternoon's participants are only a portion of our 52nd graduating class, as in the past year we have awarded 950 degrees, diplomas, and certificates in our curriculum programs, and over 220 high school credentials or GEDs. The diversity of our class, our community, is reflected in the diversity of our graduating class. It includes 68 graduates of the Associate Degree Nursing program, the largest and most diverse class in the college's history. It includes 13 members of the C-STEP program, who will be entering the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill next fall with full junior status. Today, we officially recognize 17 students who will receive their adult high school diplomas or GEDs as part of the Gateway to College program. This afternoon marks the official graduation of Courtney Mascarella. Courtney, age 18, is from Hillsborough, and earlier this month became the first person to receive her high school diploma from the Middle College High School and her associate's degree at the same time. And today we celebrate the accomplishments of James Raymond, who is graduating with the Associate in Applied Science degree in technology, in paralegal technology at the age of 72. Sincerus Kingsley was homeless, but he found a home at Durham Tech, a place where, in his words, I could come and be appreciated. He has completed his associate's degree in information systems security and has already found a way to give back by mentoring in the division's minority male leadership program. For Denise Wojtovich, a serious health crisis required her to take up a new path and find a different career. She considers her associate's degree in clinical trials research as the most precious degree she's ever received, despite coming here with 2 master's degrees and a PhD. Today, Mike Boyd joins his wife Kelly as an occupational therapy assistant. Kelly graduated from Durham Tech in 2010. When Mike saw firsthand how she derived both meaning and satisfaction from her work, he enrolled at Durham Tech 2 years ago and graduates today. He begins work at the Bryan Center in Durham next month. In November 1995, Iman Mala found herself widowed with 4 small children in a strange country with limited English skills and no support network. She and her husband had fled Kuwait as political refugees and were rebuilding their lives in eastern North Carolina when he was shot and killed in a robbery attempt in the store they owned. But while she didn't fully understand English, she understood the value of education and the opportunities it provided. So she worked to support her children as they completed high school and went on to college. Two of her daughters have since graduated from UNC Chapel Hill and East Carolina University, and her son will complete medical school later this summer. And today, her children are here to support her as she receives her adult high school diploma and prepares to come back to Durham Tech with her fourth daughter to pursue her associate's degree. Imam Mala joins 75 international students from over 35 different countries on every continent but Antarctica as Durham Tech graduates this afternoon. Every student who crosses the stage this afternoon has a story like Iman's, or Denise's, or Mike's, or Sabrina's, or Aaron's. They have juggled work and family and other obligations and the requirements and challenges of life while they've learned about anatomy and physiology, or principles of accounting, or English composition, or network security. Through hard work and persistence and dedication and commitment, they have transformed their lives, reinvented themselves, and are now prepared for a better and more prosperous future. Community is the most important word in our title. Durham Tech is here to help reinvent our communities and the people who comprise them. We are proud to be the community college of the City of Madison and Orange County's community college, the community college of the Research Triangle Park and Northeast Central Durham and Carborough and Woodcroft and Hillsborough and Trinity Park and Mebane and Old Farm and Chapel Hill and Hayti and Bahama and Cedar Grove and Parkwood. We are proud to be the alma mater of Courtney Mascarella and James Rabin, of Aaron Souther and Sabrina Boyer, and Sinceris Kingsley and Denise Wodovich, of Mike Boyd and Aman Mala, and all their fellow graduates. Thank you for being here today to help us celebrate this next step in their reinvention, their transformation, their journey to a better and brighter tomorrow. Thank you.
Originally from Dallas, Texas, tonight's guest speaker once sat where you are sitting tonight. After serving in the United States Marine Corps for over 10 years and attaining the rank of Staff Sergeant, Judge Michael Denning settled in Wake County with his family. Judge Denning has used Marine Corps values and principles to further his education and help him succeed in life. Just like you gathered your courage to continue your education, Judge Denning summoned his courage to attend Durham Tech. After graduating from the University Transfer Program here at Durham Tech, he then went to UNC Chapel Hill, where he earned Bachelor of Arts degrees in English and Medieval History. Wanting to use his sense of honor and integrity to help others, Judge Denning earned a Juris Doctorate from Campbell University's Norman Adrian Wiggins School of Law. After graduation, Judge Denning practiced law as a civil litigator and defense attorney with the Shannon Law Group in Raleigh, North Carolina. In 2010, he successfully ran for District Court Judge in North Carolina's 10th Judicial District and began serving in January 2011. He currently presides over Family Court. With his motto, "Serving is a privilege," Judge Denning is someone who leads by example and proves just how far a graduate from Durham Tech can go. Please join me in welcoming our guest speaker for tonight, Judge Denning.
I'd like to thank Emily for that very, very gracious introduction. It's much better than the one I wrote. When Dr. Ingram had asked me to speak at today's commencement, I was was not only honored, I was humbled. I'm not sure, but I think at one point he began to have second thoughts because I went incommunicado for a little bit, and he emailed my assistant for a bio, and at the same time he discreetly asked, "What do you think he's going to talk about?" I didn't tell him. I think probably he eventually made his way to Tom Gould's office and asked him, "What do you think this guy's going to talk about?" And knowing Tom, he probably leaned back with a pretty thoughtful look on his face and screwed his eyes up and said, I don't know. It could be pretty good, or it could come out like something at the end of a very long cocktail hour between Thomas Pynchon and Ernest Hemingway. I'm sure Dr. Ingham took a look at him and said, "English majors." But I am an English major and a literature lover, and a lot of that is due to Durham Tech. Before I get to what I learned at the cocktail hour, let me share with you that I'm always a little self-conscious when I hear my own bio, and that's kind of odd because I'm the one who decides what's included. And self-consciousness aside, I'm going to talk about that bio, and not for pride's sake, but because I think many of the experiences that I have in that are common to all of us. And in those common lessons, I want to focus on them, because those are the things that brought me to Durham Tech and are a large part of what I am today and what you are and where you're going. But first, let me just say congratulations to the class of 2013. Congratulations. You've had a long, tough slog, and you've come through it, and you've come through some adversity, and this is your day, and you deserve it. I'm very excited to be here. It's always nice to have a captive audience. You know, coming from a family of 12, it's always difficult to get a word in edgewise, and anytime you do, it's at your own risk. Yeah. I became a lawyer in large extent because at some point, the other side has to stop and listen to you. And when you're a judge, it's even better. You can tell them when to stop. I am, of course, the seventh of 12, and I'm the fourth boy of 7 boys. Another way of saying that is that I was the middle child twice in my family of 12. And the cultural dynamics of a large family are such that there are distinct subculturals, and they run all along the age and the gender lines. Just suffice it to say that the survival instinct took over, and it was still difficult to get enough food. There was never a lot of leftovers in the house, and a lot of times you had to fight off your brothers and your sisters to keep them off your plate. You know, I actually joined the Marine Corps to get some privacy and keep people out of my food. Aside from the fact that we all will soon share in common that we're Durham Tech alumni here in the immediate future, I believe that we each have a great deal more in common. And part of that's what has led us here to Durham Tech. I believe that it's imperative for us to understand where we are right now and not lose track of what it is that led us here. There's no way that we can get to where we're going or achieve the goals that we have set for ourselves without an understanding and appreciation of where we've been. There's no doubt that growing up in a large, close family shaped as much of who I was as did nearly 11 years in the Marine Corps, and more recently being married and raising children. More than anything, those two things and raising children have provided me with the foundation and experiences that I draw on every day in how I deal with people and how I make my decisions. All of you have been formed by where you've been and your past experiences, and you should never forget either of them. Nor should you forget the people that are responsible for where you are and how you got here. They're just as much as part of your education as what is going to be represented on your diploma here in a few brief moments. Many of us did not come to Durham Tech early on. We were pretty busy with life, raising children, putting them through college, nursing, working on automobiles, cooking, or serving in the military. When I was discharged from the Marine Corps in 1995, I had around 9 hours of course time that would transfer. I met my wife in 2000. When we were married in 2001, she discovered I was eligible for the GI Bill. We decided that I would go back to school full-time. And then after I finished that, I'd move on to grad school. It was either law school or culinary school for grad school, and since we figured we would see each other more, if I went to law school won out. In one decade, from 2000 to 2010, I met my wife, we got married, had 2 beautiful children, did an undergrad, did law school, practiced as a litigator, bought and sold 2 houses, ran for the district court bench, and now I sit in family court. That was not alone. It was with her, and it was with all those teachers and professors that I had along the way. None of this would have been remotely possible without her support and her assistance. The education and the experience that my family and the Marine Corps has given me is beyond compare. It's not necessarily important when you accomplish your goals in life, just simply that you do accomplish them. As an important part of education, Durham Tech has done what all good education is supposed to do. It's shown me and you the way to use all of that experience that you have to find answers. Durham Tech allowed me to take the experience and education I had prior to coming here and to apply them critically. The tools you have worked for and that you've received here at Durham Tech are their best when worked in concert with all of the education that you have, not just your formal education. Your life experience and the education you receive before walking through those doors is important to your critical thinking process as calculus, chemistry, and yes, Shakespeare. You know, if you ask my wife, she might tell you, and she would be truthful when she told you this, that in large part my going back to school so late in life was an excuse to spend inordinate amounts of time reading classic literature and espousing opinions about it that no one else really cared for. I had a classmate in law school when I got there, and as you do in your first couple of weeks in law school, you talk to everybody, find out where they went to undergrad, and find out what their majors are. She had gone to UVA, and she told me that her major was English. And of course, what's an English major to do? What's your favorite Shakespeare play? Well, I don't really have one, she told me. I was aghast. An English major without a favorite Shakespeare play is somewhat like a sommelier who doesn't really care for wine. It's just simply incongruous. Well, she responded, at UVA for my program, we didn't have to read Shakespeare. I was really aghast, and for those who know me well and know that I'm rarely speechless, I was speechless. I can't imagine going through life without the joys of one of Hamlet's soliloquies. An English degree without Shakespeare may be a degree in name only. That is not what you are receiving today here at Durham Tech. Many of you will be going on to a university to complete your undergraduate degrees. You may be nervous, a bit anxious, the prospect of going into a 4-year institution like Carolina, Duke, North Carolina State, or UNCW, or wherever you may be going. You're probably wondering if you really belong, if you're ready to be there, are you going to be able to handle the workload? Am I as prepared as I can be? The answer to all of those questions, let me tell you, is a resounding yes. You are. And you're ready in spades. What you have learned here will serve you well, and it should be relied on for the rest of your academic career and the rest of your professional career. Of all the skills that you've acquired here at Durham Tech, you have everything you need to achieve, not only your undergraduate degree, but to truly be successful in achieving any goal that you would care to set for yourself. In an educational environment that's increasingly expensive and in many ways, to some people's thoughts, decreasing in quality, Durham Tech has gone in the opposite direction. They do the essential work of teaching you exactly how to think, not what to think. How to identify the problem and where to go and discover the answer. They have provided you with the fundamental skills to not just be successful where you're going, but to be wildly successful. In the current budget environment that education faces, they continue to do so much with so little that fairly soon the legislature may ask them to do the impossible with nothing. Your success here in the future has as much to do with your exceptional efforts as it does with the efforts of your teachers, your spouses, and your families, and the opportunity that you have made the most of to get here today. I'd ask you today to remember to be thankful for that opportunity and to keep it in perspective. Always remember where you have come from and be grateful for what you have. Never lose track that despite the difficulty that you may be facing, that you're still afforded that opportunity to go out and be successful and pursue your goal. I had said a little earlier, I was a little self-conscious about my bio. I think it's because it's a bit awkward being in a spotlight that you've turned on yourself, especially after growing up as a middle child where I'm used to just hiding in the background. For today, if any of you suffer from that same reluctance, I ask you to put it aside and step out into the spotlight. Embrace your accomplishment as a way of thanking those who have played such a critical role in where you are now today and where you're going to go in the future. Don't forget how and what has brought you to this moment. Consider each of your individual stories, and they're all remarkable, and how you arrived here today. You've accomplished a great deal. Your diploma is going to be evidence of that. Remember those people who've helped you get here. Your mothers, your fathers, husbands, wives, children, and of course, your teachers. We are all standing on their shoulders, and in no small part because of that, we and you are prepared to go forth and continue. Congratulations, class of 2013. Congratulations.